Hello everybody and welcome to a new YouTube video with the question that I have received a lot during my streams. How do you make so much money? Average, I make between 2 and 4 million per raid by following a simple strat. I'm gonna tell you everything about it, but I want to start with my loadout and I want to show you guys how we got there. Yesterday, in 2.5 hours time, we made 22 million in cash by simply using this strat. As you can see, we are currently at 72 million. And if you want to take a quick look at my height, you find this kind of stuff. You find this kind of stuff. And you're gonna start doing crazy stuff like making a gold bar pyramid. So, what do? We're gonna start with our loadout. What are we gonna run? Because this strat needs a little bit of preparation and it needs a few raids before it starts to work. So, what we do is we buy the GNG backpack. Why do we choose for this one? You have 2 spots for helmets, a spot for an armor, and a spot for a gun. I want to remind you, our raids averagely take about 15 minutes. Bringing the hyper tag, you will only have 2 slots. So you can bring like 2 armors, but your helmets and your guns, that's all going to be an issue. So in my opinion, this is the best backpack to use. We combine that with an IMTV. And the way how I play the IMTV is with the following. We get 3 grenade pouches. We get 1 double mag pouch and 1 medium pouch. We put 2 on the side. We put the medium on the left, the magazine here, and another pouch here. For a helmet, I choose the Altin. And for the visibility of the video, we're gonna put the Altin on the side of the backpack for now. When it comes to mats, we're gonna play a few things. We're gonna get 4 bandages. We're gonna get 1 stapler, 1 big mat, 1 reserve mat. We're gonna get a blue stim, and we're gonna get a red stim. And of course, food and water. I put the water in the corner. I always put the food on the side here. I stack the bandages in this corner. And I do this because I mostly use my backpack with my left hand. And why is that? Because I always hold my gun with my right hand. So the left hand is the quickest way for me to grab my backpack. And then I can access everything fast on this side, which makes a lot of sense to me. The reserve mat goes here. And our big mat goes here. Our stapler goes in this first pouch. And then the 2 stims, I always put them in the container. So when we're in fight, we can heal fast. And if we need to staple, we can staple fast. Right? Alright. Key-wise, we can buy hospital. And if you have the tradables, you gotta buy resort. For the ion batteries, the olive oil, and the videotape. And you gotta buy I always call it the travel agency, but you gotta buy the voyage key as well. For 2 game consoles, the cleansers, and the climbing rope. I will come back later on the keys. Then we're gonna go for our gun. This is my personal preference, but I really love it. We're gonna start with an RC. Why don't we play the DD? First of all, sound-wise, I like the sound of the RC more. Second, we have done some damage testing with M995 on 3 different armors. And with the RC, we actually did more damage than with the DD. Why? I don't know. For the attachments, we're gonna get... And I don't buy the best stuff because I also want the gun to look good. So, we're gonna get the red dot. We just lost our compensator. There it is. And we're gonna buy 260 rounders with M995. one in the gun, and one in the pouch. Then we're gonna buy a flashbang. In case we get in a bad situation. And then we're gonna buy 9 stacks of ammo. We have 3 here to refill max quicker. And the other bullets will go next to the bandages. So we still have enough backspace. So that's how our back is gonna look like. The last mod that we need to do on the RC is our grip. And I always like to pick the red grip. Just because the gun has the red colors here. And if you put this one here, the gun just looks really good, in my opinion. So, for this strat, we mainly focus on single fire and one-tapping scavs. And we go full automatic on players, of course, or single fire, depending on the situation. And then we're gonna start our run. And it all depends on where we spawn on the map Resort. The map is really small, so you can get a lot of loot really fast. But the map is really, really gonna change your economy when you play the keys. And you will have to play for those keys first. Because if you are only able to buy the hospital key, then you should know that on the table in the room, you have 2 chances for 2 different keys. One key is Sunset, and the other key is Modern Apartment. Modern Apartment has a chance to drop the bank key. And Sunset also has a chance to drop the bank key. When you actually go to the Modern Apartment, in the front entrance, at the desk, is a key spawn for the Resort Hotel. And in the Resort Hotel, you have a chance for a drop for Sunset key or the Voyage key. So once you've done those runs a couple of times and you have all the keys, you can do a full key run. And then it will be all dependable on where you spawn. So when you spawn, let's say, wastewater, hospital side, lighthouse, you're gonna do the key run in the order Sunset, Hospital, Modern Apartment, Voyage, Hotel, and then at the end you go to the bank and then you extract. Why? The bank room is not, out of 9 out of 10 rates, the room upstairs is not looted. When you spawn on the other side, you're gonna do it a little bit different. You're gonna start Hotel, you walk around the bank to go to Voyage, then you go to Apartment, then you go to Hospital, and then you go to Sunset, and then you go to bank, and then you extract. If you are feeling comfortable with fighting, then you do it a little bit different. Then you start at Hotel, then you go to Voyage, then you go to Apartment, then you go to the bank, and then you go to Hospital, and then the Sunset, and then you extract. If you want to make a little bit more with a little bit more risk, if you have a close bank spawn, there are 3, where you can get into the bank within the first 20 seconds. You start at bank, then you go to Hotel, then you go to Voyage, then you go to Apartment, Hospital, and Sunset. And then you will have that little bit of cash extra. If you do this all while keeping pace, you can get your first rooms without interfering with players, and you will make average between 2 and 4 million each raid. Why do we bring the stims? The blue stim is an anti-bleed stim for 2 minutes. When I spawn close to the bank, I pop this stim immediately. So if I get in any fight, I don't have to worry about my bandages, and all I have to do is shoot and heal at the same time. If we have done all the rooms and we are ready for extract, but there's an airdrop coming and we're feeling greedy, we pop the red stim because that gives us a speed boost. We can also use the red stim for fighting if you want to use the speed against the player, but you can also use the red stim for running away from players because you don't want to lose your loot. This is my tactic, and at some point you're gonna upgrade your loadout, right? So if you've been playing this map a lot, you will eventually upgrade to a tier 6 armor, or in my case, you will run the Mall Boss armor with an alt-in, with your RC, And right now, I don't have the sunset key, so right now I just run modern apartment, hospital, and bank. If I keep these, if I run these 3 keys, I still make about 2.2 mil each raid. That's actually it, guys. And if you have any questions or recommendations for more videos, just let me know. I just wanted to make this video and this explanation really, really quick, just so you guys can look at it after the stream or during the stream. And yeah. Like I said, if you have an idea, let me know, and I'll see you in the next stream or in the next video.